How you doing, buddy?
And we're back. I'm kind of traumatized a little bit. I'm back, though.
Did you pull your back out?
No, I had to comb my uncle's chest hair.
Why would you do something like that?
I don't know, man.
I worked at a Five Guys Burgers and Fries one time, and this dude came in. He was a bigger guy, right? And
how did that remind you of Five Guys?
Well, hang on a second. It was the chest hair. Now, let me get to it. Okay? So, this guy comes in with his wife. He's this big old dude, right? He's got like one of them pearl button-down snaps. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Pearl button-down snaps you wear out the country shit. Rednecks wear and shit.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, he comes in with that, but like the top like 4 buttons are open and it's like his shirt's pulled back, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm seeing this and I look at my manager. I'm like, yo, we need to ask him to wear a hairnet. And my fucking manager's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, dude, if the FDA comes in here and does an inspection, this motherfucker's got his hamburger meat exposed to the world. We're going to get fined. And my fucking boss looks over and then sees it and then just busts out laughing in front of the guy. He was like, sir, can you button up your shirt, please? Nobody wants to see
fair game at that point.
Right? I mean, like, dude, like, walked in all sweaty and shit, hamburger meat glistening in the sun. Bad.
Have you contacted your old bosses to see, like, or anything? Have you ran into your old bosses before? Tell them, like, what you're doing and stuff?
Well, no, yeah. Like, when I worked at Ramsey's.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just there a couple days ago. I took Bailey in, because they all love Bailey. And Bailey loves the attention, because he's a little whore.
Fucking horrible dog.
You know he loves the attention.
Yeah.
So I took him in because they've known him since he was a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a big one now. There's his bed. He's not down here right now, but there's his bed.
I'm just gonna be laughing one day if he takes a shit right behind you while recording.
Yeah, he won't. He's never shit. He's never shit in the house.
That's a good dog.
Like even when he was a puppy, he knew that he had to go outside. We took him out often, so now he knows that he can ask to go outside.
But I'd still be laughing if he did that. I think that'd be hilarious.
I wouldn't be able to tell the carpet, you know, like 1970s your grandmother's carpet. Like this is the carpet that I imagine in Eric Foreman's house in that 70s show.
That is very specific, sir.
I mean, it's a good show though. Hanging out down
the street. Now, one of the actors
doing the same old thing I did when I was 13.
Yeah. See, now one of the actors is in trouble for letting it hanging out.
Oh, he's in prison. He's got like 30 years, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's my thing. It's fucking Danny Masterson. I don't... Okay, go with me here. Obviously, Danny Masterson's a good-looking dude, okay?
Mm-hmm.
By guy standards, Danny Masterson's a good-looking dude. I don't see why if he did it, I'm not placing judgment because I don't know the details of the case. I don't know. I've only seen what I've seen on the fucking snippets I get.
Mm-hmm.
Good looking dude, plenty of money. Why did he if he did what he's allegedly said to have done, why did he feel like he needed to do that? He fucking hide.
Yeah. Now,
like Hyde was the cool one on fucking that 70s show. Everybody wanted to be Hyde.
Now, I don't want to hide this intro, but we're going to start it right now. That would suck. Welcome to the Article 1776 podcast, and I am the Uncle Combed Hair, chest hair guy. This is
Scottsdale 87, and I'm kind of hoping that... I kind of wish it wasn't true, because, like, I always thought Danny Masterson was pretty good.
all right.
I thought he was a good actor. It's kind of sad, you know?
Speaking of which, and I don't know why this has been kind of hitting me hard lately. I don't know. Have you been hearing the shit with Britney Spears?
She just got pulled over for driving without a license and no insurance on.
Well, not that.
But she's released her book. But like at the same time, like she went crazy again, waving knives around. Shh.
But I don't know. But here's the thing: if it's true, then
she's on drugs.
No, well, you know how much her family's putting her on lithium.
Well, I mean, her family's fucked up anyway. Sorry, Britt, but your family's fucked.
But I mean, like that's not entirely her fault, you know.
No. I'm saying, hey, look, Brittany, I'm sorry, but your family, the ones who are supposed to be taking care of you, are fucked. The people who are supposed to be taking care of you.
I think it's kind of weird how the perplexity of all this, how she released the book the same time that NSYNC put out a singles album.
Did they really?
Yeah, a new album after like 20-something years.
Well, nobody cared. That's why I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I find it weird, and if it's true, and I hope she gets the help that she needs, because of if all the story is true. I've heard of some things on it, but I'm hoping that it isn't just irony. Actually comes to a conclusion to where she needs that help and gets the help that she needs and clarity too. But then again, I can't shake off the feeling, because I've heard that both of them wanted an abortion.
Wait,
when Britney was pregnant with Justin's baby, and they both wanted an abortion.
She doesn't have a kid by him though.
I know, but earlier on, she had an abortion. From what I've heard, both of them wanted the abortion.
Well, I mean, they were
2001, 2000. But here's the thing with Christian religion: they didn't necessarily believe in abortion. That's the thing.
My thing is when you look at the late 90s.
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera, Andy Moore, they've all gone through their shit, and that seems to be a thing with Hollywood. And I was actually just kind of reflecting on this yesterday. I found out Matthew Perry died.
Yeah.
Chandler Bing. Sorry, I'm thinking of his the TV digest.
Yeah.
His name was Chandler Bong on it.
Yeah.
There was something that, he admitted to several years ago. He had drug addictions, and he sought help for it. And, like, he got out of that. But it seems like that's a must in Hollywood. Like, if you're any type of anybody, you've got something. But I think that's just humans. Like, humans are obvious. I in my honest opinion, through the personal research I've done in life with different things, the human body is basically wired to handle altered consciousness.
Yeah.
Not everybody is wired the same way to handle it the same way, but there's things out there that'll change you. Yeah. It'll change you for the better. It'll change you for the worst. And judging by her behavior before, obviously she's had her drug issues before, and had some very erratic reactions, shaving her head in public, freaking out, having a meltdown in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And it was noted that she was on prescription medications and recreational drugs at the time, and those things don't mix.
Well, here's the thing. You know what lithium does to the brain, right?
It basically fries it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
lithium is one of the worst drugs I've ever heard of.
So I gotta wonder, was she prescribed that? Obviously,
Yeah, I mean, think of Ozzy Osbourne.
yeah. It's like, and Ozzy has cleaned himself up some. He's coherent now.
Well, the thing is I don't know if you heard about it. This was, I can't even remember how many years ago, but Ozzy was in an ATV accident in England.
Yeah,
He couldn't get to his doctor here in the States. Now, his doctor here in the States had him on all kinds of fucking painkillers, antidepressants, fucking mood stabilizers, tranquilizers and shit.
yeah.
Oh, Randy Rhodes, Shan!
That was a great. That was a great impression.
Thank you. I've worked on that one. So, you're fucking Prince of Darkness, Shan! But, he was like that because he was on so many medications. Broke a couple bones. He's in England. Can't get back to America right away. Has to see a doctor. Obviously, he's injured. The doctor over there gets his fucking medications list and was like, dude, what the fuck? You are on so much shit you do not even need to be on. The only reason you're on all these medications so your doctor gets fucking paid by the insurance companies.
Yeah.
Now he got off a lot of those medications that he didn't need, and now he's old. He's almost incoherent as he is because, I mean, you know, forgive me, Prince of Darkness, but you're not a spring chicken. I'm still a fan. Don't worry. But you know, I wouldn't put it past her doctors in Hollywood because A, they're probably after the fucking insurance money, and everybody in America is greedy anyway.
Yeah. Michael Jackson's doctor too.
Yeah, like so many. So A, I wouldn't put it past either it was her doctor that prescribed it, just thinking that it would not help her, but like we're gonna fucking try it anyway and just see what happens. Or her family's like, hey, look, she's got problems, we need to try something, and then they go down the list of medications to try, and ultimately they end up at the fucking lithium road, and then you get this.
And it goes so much to say is like
Space case.
I hope if Justin has or hasn't made up an apology or something like that, because for a kid, and I'll say it this way, for a kid at her age when she was pregnant with Justin's kid,
Yeah.
Abortion can, I don't know the science behind it all now. Yeah, it's like my mom had one when she was before she had me and my brother. Like it's traumatizing and still haunts her to this very day. But
yeah,
it's like I gotta also wonder how much of it is timing, due to the fact that now Justin is putting out this new song, all that stuff. Because I kind of like to think of it both ways, you know.
I don't think there would be much in the way of communication between her and Justin.
Yeah.
At least amicably. Given their history. So I want to say, I mean, I don't give a shit, really, but I'd probably put it more towards like coincidence.
Yeah, and now the reason why I think about it is because there are some stories where society will blame the man for some issues when the other person should take self accountability for the action. You know.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Justin Timberlake isn't crazy.
Well, I'll say that this way too. There was a story that I forgot the name of the lady, where a lady was getting railed by two dudes at a college party, and didn't want her boyfriend to find out, so she accused the two gentlemen of grape. YouTube grape.
You can throw a bleep in there, can't you?
Well, I'll try. Grape.
I can actually send you one. I have one.
All right, I appreciate that. Grape. And needlessly sent those two gentlemen to prison for that time for something they did not do.
I think I heard about that.
So it's like I like to listen to both sides, so then that way I can decipher for myself which one's real and which one's not.
Yeah, like I don't know. This world's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What else is crazy? You shared with me an article earlier that I think we need to touch on.
The ATF was it? Which one? That one?
Yeah, that one. Their whole forced reset triggers now debacle. I guess they're going after it because I don't know. It somehow is it more dangerous?
Yeah. But they made the ruling in the
A
first
forced reset trigger is dangerous?
Yeah. But
I mean, I can see how it would be dangerous for the user.
yeah.
I don't see how it would be any more dangerous for the intended defensive target.
Here's when I'm gonna get pissed off. Here is
Yeah.
okay. Fucking ATF.
Defund the ATF. Abolish the ATF. Don't
I
even
don't
fucking
have a
defund
fucking
it.
pistol brace. Obviously, this is just a little butt stock, right? But
ATF assholes talking
a
farts.
fucking pistol brace has nothing to do with the fire control mechanisms. Here,
Are you
nothing,
clear?
nothing, clear, everything. I'm good. Boom, nothing. ATF, make up
Assholes
your fucking mind. Shut the
talking
fuck up and sit the fuck down.
farts. ATF assholes talking farts.
It has nothing to do with the fire control mechanism, pistol brace or nothing.
Well,
Sorry.
The forced reset is the issue.
Yeah.
The forced reset triggers. Like, a forced reset trigger is it has to the weapon has to reciprocate in order to reset the trigger. Or you have to manually charge it depending on the weapon.
Yeah.
So that's an ATF classification. They asked for that, and there are manufacturers who complied with that. And I guess now it's an issue. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand anything the ATF does. I have to follow up on it, but I mean, I understand it. I just realized I opened a door into so much other crap by
Yeah.
going back to school for what I do.
Like,
Well, if you like this, here's some more.
yeah. Now, see, it's fucking doesn't make any sense. They are much like the pistol brace. They're the ones that okayed it in the first place, and then they turned around and said, it's not okay. I sit down and shut the fuck up.
The pistol brace does not, like Warhammer showed, the pistol brace does not mess with anything in the fire control mechanism. Now, here's a cool thing. Once I get my FFL, there's, things I can...
And beforehand, by the way, if any of you try to say it's for accuracy, bullshit. The C-clamp can be used for accuracy. Go ahead.
Yeah, like recoil with one hand doesn't really mitigate.
Yeah.
But like obviously I have to figure out like what parameters I have to set for myself where I live. But I could probably build a pistol and put a brace on it, and I will sit here, obviously cleared and unloaded, unchambered and everything, but I will demonstrate and depict perfectly to anybody who has any questions the fact that a pistol brace does not control anything in the fire control group.
Mm-hmm.
It does not have anything to do with the cycle of operations that every firearm has to abide by. And I just wrote a paper on a lot of those operations of cycling, and so come at me, bro. Like, I just wrote a paper on it and turned it in yesterday, or was Saturday, and actually so I was late on the paper because I didn't read all of the directions because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
It was due Wednesday, not Sunday. It was a discussion topic. It was due Wednesday, not Sunday. But the other discussion replies that I have to do to my classmates was due Sunday. So that's where I fucked up. Mm-hmm. I still sent it to him. He took it. He was like, "Hey, I have to knock points off of it. Thank you for at least bringing something to me."
Yeah.
Remember how I told you I fucking bombed my first paper?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this is the first paper I've written in 15 years.
Yeah.
Second paper had no constructive criticism to come back with.
You got an A on?
Well, no, I got a 40 on it because I turned it in on Saturday and not Wednesday like it was supposed to be. And I accept that. That's my fuck up. And I texted this man and was like, "Hey, look, I know I screwed up. I'm sorry. I didn't read the directions fully. I skipped directly to the assignment and got to work. Made sure I had all my citations, made sure I had all my spacing, all my fucking margins, all of my fucking cliff notes, all that stuff was in there. I made sure of it. I was meticulous about it, and that's why it took me so long."
But what was the only thing that...
It was just because it was late. Yeah, it was because it was late. It was 4 days late. Had to take off fucking... Well, I think I got a 40 on that paper. So 40, 50, 60. So, yeah, he probably took off a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
quite a bit.
But you know what? I'm okay with that. You want to know why I'm okay with it? I might still have a bad grade, but I didn't turn in nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't get a 0 on that paper. And I specifically stated to him, "Look, I know it's late. I'm sorry. You might not even take this, but I have to give it to you because personally, I'd rather show that I at least made the effort and not show the effort at all." So
at least you could ask for extra credit if you can do extra credit to bring the grade up too.
Well, my midterm's coming up in 2 weeks, so I really got to get cracking. I have a 2-part discussion coming up. I have to. It's 2 different essays, and then the discussion question or the discussion replies to my. It's a lot of shit, man. I think I put way too much on my plate. I'm overwhelmed. I'm nervous.
Welcome aboard.
I already had a lot on my plate, but I think I overstepped my mental capacity on this. But I got to truck through this.
Yeah, you got to truck through it because here's the thing. From what I've learned for business, and it's because not only just for my personal taking, for business taking as well, it's because you're held responsible for not only yourself, but you got to look after for people that don't know anything about owning a business. You got to take care of yourself, not only yourself, but the employees and the employees' families that you hire on. So that way you could actually say, if I know something about this, if I know something about that, then I could go on to train and educate these people that are working beneath me how I want it done. So if they do a great of a job, hey, that's my part of giving them a bonus. But if I'm failing them, then it is on me. When a business fails, when an employee is acting up, they don't blame the employee, they blame the employer.
See, hang on, I got a little bit of a wedgie going on here. Got my sleepy shorts on. Yes. When I start my overall plan with this is eventually to start my own rifle company. I want to specialize in modernized lever actions and stuff. But I want to build custom weapons for people. You give me what you want out of it, I'll put it together. I'll build it out. We'll get it custom CNC machined if we have to.
If they have the SOT for it and stuff.
Well, I mean, it depends on what it is. If you're a manufacturer like AK guy, which is what I intend to do, his SOT's taken care of because he's got the manufacturing licensing for it. So I'm basically kind of doing the same thing. I want to make, competition pistols for people. Easy slides, like buttery smooth, and I want to employ gunsmiths. Here's the issue. I'm only going to employ gunsmiths who are licensed. I will not. I want my standards so high for this because of what it involves. You know, there's a lot of federal stuff involved with it, and
More
when
than
it comes
just
federal,
7473s.
exactly. So I lost my train of thought. So there's so much shit that I can lose if I fuck this up. You know, so if as I'm going through this 10-year plan, I have this self-imposed strictness that I'm putting into my, you know, my dream of what I want out of this. It's difficult because like I have problems setting goals and deadlines for myself as it is. Because my life has always been chaotic, so I don't know what's going on next 5 minutes from now. A fucking plane could crash through this half of my house. So now that I have kids and the wife, the dog, the cars, the house, you know, I got to do things better. I got to do things different. I'm trying to be more hands-on with what we do with Article. You take care of a lot of the business stuff, and I'm always going to put you on that pedestal for that. But now, like, I realize that I have all this shit that's not shit. It's not shit, okay? I have all this stuff that I have to balance, and other people are depending on me. You're depending on me. My family's depending on me. People who have already got some of our stuff, who are, you know, are kind of our core fans, like, I have to be better. And I'm reading things and listening to things and watching things and trying to self-motivate myself. I'm trying to be a better person.
Yeah, see, that's
It
that's
sucks
what
I'm
I commend you
36,
for.
but
It doesn't matter. Hey, well, Nick, I can't praise this person because of what they did in Pizzagate. But Vera Wang, she was 40-something years old, made her first dress red around like something. That I'm not going to commend the other shit. Fuck her. But
yeah.
so far as to goals, you know, that's an example. So I'm proud of you no matter what, you know. So it's like at least you realize at the point it's all depending on what I've always going to say to people is this: control what you can't control, and that's the only thing is that you can control with what you do. You can't control the outside forces.
It's difficult. It can be difficult to. I don't know. Things can be difficult to balance, but you have to find what works for you.
Yeah. It's like I said, control what you can't control. There are a lot of things outside of my balance, but it's like I look at it like, okay, but first I need to prioritize this, prioritize that, you know. So it's like that's what, and I'll commend you for it, is that you're taking care of you for your instances instead of saying what if doing something. You're showing the example to your stepkids that this is possible.
I'm trying to, man. Like that's the thing. I'm trying.
And
I'm actually in the adopting both of them.
the what?
I'm adopting both of them.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Yeah, that's that's something that just developed within the last like 2 or 3 days.
I'm proud of you for that, you know. But
There is something we can control. You know what? We can control something. We can control the U.S. Constitution,
yeah,
or how it's interpreted.
yeah. For the 23rd time.
I think we should do that. Boom. Screen share. 23rd Amendment. The presidential vote for D.C. So, as you can see, 23rd Amendment right here, Section 1. The district constituting the seat of government of the United States shall appoint in such manner as Congress may direct a number of electors of president and vice president equal to the whole number of senators and representatives in Congress to which the district would be entitled if it were a state, but in no event more than the least populous state. They shall be in addition to those appointed by the states, but they shall be considered for the purposes of the election of president and vice president to be electors appointed by his state, and they shall meet in the district and perform such duties as provided by the 12th article of amendment. That's a lot of word jumbo. I mean, they always are.
That's a lot of jumbo.
It's a lot of redundancies.
Much like gumbo.
That's why I said that.
He said jumbo.
That's why I said that. Like gumbo. Word gumbo, word jumbo.
Yeah.
But word jumble, word jumble sounds weird.
I haven't had enough whiskey for this. But I love to educate people, so.
I mean, I have whiskey.
I
have lots of whiskey. I just need bacon. I have freedom.
And we need, much like our shirt, though. Which you can get at article1776.com.
See, I softballed that in for you.
Yeah.
So basically this says that, every district is entitled to have as many presidential candidates for vice president and president as they would for representatives. So, there's that.
Yeah.
And then the second part of that is so fucking informative. I'm so much smarter for having read this earlier. The Congress shall have the Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. I fucking love it. Sorry.
But what in terms is appropriate legislation?
Oh, that's hard to decipher nowadays. Our government is basically running rampant as it is anyway, so, does that even mean anything?
Yeah, no.
It basically, appropriate legislation, they can write a bill to do however they see fit. I think.
In my eyes, you know what, I'm starting to think that if they make this turn into a tie for a presidential run, they'll just, one moment in history, they'll decide to put it to a foreigner's perspective as presidency. I hate to say it, but I don't know.
Look, I'm okay. I feel like I have to get this off my chest. I've been asked this question by two people, and I couldn't answer it because I didn't want to offend nobody. I don't mind foreigners in our country, and I don't mind foreigners voting. However, I would prefer that they were United States citizens. You left your country in search of a better life. Awesome. You're doing for your family. That's awesome. I'm totally okay with that. If you love this country enough that you feel you should be voting on its politics, you should be a citizen of this country. I'm not going to Mexico and voting on their policies and politics. I'm not a citizen of Mexico. No. And if I did that, not being a citizen of Mexico, I would assume that I would be held accountable to the fullest extent of their laws. So the whole, you should be a U.S. citizen to vote, you should have an ID to vote, voter registration should be a thing. People saying that shit is racist or based. I mean, it's not based, it's just common sense.
You want to know one thing that is kind of, they're copycatting, it's kind of like we're being claimed racist for, but other people are still doing it, is putting up a wall, a blockade on the border. Because, Mexico now has been having a border protection between them and Guatemala.
Yeah. Yeah, you showed me that the other night.
Yeah.
That was funny, man.
Yeah.
It's such a weird perspective.
I'll only put the video right here.
So what a lot of people don't know is that Mexico is bordered with Guatemala.
Yes.
Okay? We don't let them in. So the same thing that America does to Mexico, we do to Guatemala. Okay? It just, the news is CNN, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, New York Post, they're never going to show you that. Just so you know, Mexico is extremely racist. So we have what are
And Guatemalans.
even to its own Mexicans. So you got to remember, Mexico was dominated by Spaniards. The only reason I look the way I look
Yes.
is because I'm 65% Spaniard.
Yeah.
Mexicans, like real Mexicans, or which is known as Mexica, not Mexico,
Yes.
Mexica, are 5'4", super dark with big noses and the heads pushed back. Aztecs and Mayans,
Like Indians.
like
You mean?
Indians.
Yes.
Well, we're natives, right?
Yeah.
So we're blended. So the reality is, in Mexico, till this day, if you are not light complected, somewhat tall, you're frowned upon. To this day.
But yeah, it's just people are labeling us racist for something that for other countries that are doing though. Yeah, we're the racist ones, but they don't see what's happening down between Guatemala and Mexico.
Yeah. So, the number of electors of president and vice president equal to the whole number of senators and representatives in Congress to which the district would be entitled if it were a state. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but none of that makes sense. Because if you think about how many districts there are in the country, there are not that many presidential candidates. There are not that many vice presidential candidates, for that matter. I would go as far as shooting myself in the foot as to say that this probably isn't even looked at in the terms of how our elections are supposed to work. Like,
Yeah, I don't. And my thing is that if they were to, I completely forgot the age limits as to what you can do and how long you have to be a U.S. citizen in order to run for any political party. But I'm pretty much sure that if they were to try to do something like that, they would have to abide by the rules and laws and regulations as to so far as to running a person,
we're on the topic of foreigners and well, I mean, I'm sure he's not a foreigner. I don't know. What do you know of Ramaswamy?
He is a very he's a very intellectual type of human being. He is very much. I can agree with his domestic side. I don't know much about the foreign policies.
Can you touch on that a little bit? I look. I'm gonna be honest. I talk about everybody getting out and voting and knowing your candidates, but that's a candidate I know nothing about. I do not know anything about Vivek Ramaswamy.
Well,
so
the video that he kind of did with Brandon / Donut Operator, Donut asked him the question about the defunding the police and all that stuff, where he says that he's totally against it because
I have heard that.
Yeah, if you were to train someone in a Paul Blart mall cop fashion, then you're going to get a Paul Blart mall cop for a trainee. If we decide to, and I've heard several times people say that, we should get, what is it, those healthcare providers, healthcare checkers to go to the house and help out with mental and
welfare.
Give them a gun. Well, welfare, give them a gun.
They're social workers, yeah.
Social workers with a gun, give them a gun. I said, "What isn't that recreating the police? Isn't that basically what it is? Welfare, social welfare workers with guns. Isn't that the police?"
Yeah.
So you would be promoting more people. You'd be getting rid of the police to get police. It doesn't make any sense.
This is something that I've always been a firm believer of. There need to be more military training personnel in police departments. Instead of sending, a young Marine drill instructor after he, retires, sending him to some stupid office job, he needs to take a job at a police department where he's training cops tactically. Like, you should have regular patrol officers moving in the same manner they would if they were special forces. And I'll tell you why. Hang on. No, I'll tell you why. Police officers suck at communication under constant stress. Who does not?
Military.
A Marine, a soldier, a JP, a SEAL. Okay? Now, you have combat-tested personnel, okay, training police officers. Now, what are they going to be training them to do? How many videos have you seen where police officers walk in, stacked up, and get into a kill zone?
As a matter of fact,
Too many.
I'll say this. It's a part of one of Donut Operator's videos, and I think you've seen it too, where that police officer pulled up a gentleman who was speeding, but the operator talking to the law enforcement police officer, she didn't say that the dude had a prior history with guns. So as soon as the young police officer, I forgot his name, the police officer,
New Mexico.
You're
talking about the guy in New Mexico. Yeah.
Where he pulled over this dude for speeding, and he said, just a casual stop. This dude whips out his AR and killed the dude.
White truck. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's a different incident than what I'm actually portraying. Only because he was alone. He was by himself. Like, but
no, not really, because the operator should have still communicated with him. This dude's prior.
Oh yeah, no, that's something completely different. But as in terms of backup and having extra units on board, he didn't, and I think that's an error on the operator's part again, not issuing additional units because of his priors. Mm-hmm. But I've seen too many videos lately where cops go in to serve warrants and they get shot at, and some dude's mother gets killed in crossfire and shit. But if you have actual stressful training like you had in the Marine Corps, it obviously you're here, it works. Yes, we lose people. That's you don't hate the players, you hate the game. Yeah. But it's tested to work. Limiting factors aside, it's tested to work. If you have a team that's clearing houses and learning how to work with each other, you get 3 or 4 officers on a call, welfare check. This guy's got guns, but he's also smearing bananas all over himself and his mom's underwear. So let's exercise a little caution. Instead of entering the house and getting fucked up, you're able to communicate under pressure better. You're able to keep your head about you better.
Yeah.
And training instills confidence.
Yeah, I think this is where I kind of
don't defund them, fund them.
Yeah, and this is where I kind of things get a little bit blurry, because in some instances, some tactics from the military perspective don't necessarily work in a urban field.
There has to be a common ground that's set. But
yeah, for me, I specialize in clearing rooms and stuff like that, and you could do that, but it's like how to do it in a more like over here.
Obviously, your ROE would be different.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest shadow zone that you have to negotiate training officers like that.
For those of you that don't know, ROE stands for Rules of Engagement, and they can change.
You should know that.
Yeah, so for different areas, the ROE changes. I should highlight that.
Finish, please, finish. I had something it was something I heard the other day. It was funny.
If they coming at you with the 50 cal, come back at them with the 50 cal, I'll just say.
No, my thing is so somebody asked me, what happens if America gets invaded? And I just laughed. I was like, I just laughed. I was like,
imagine if America gets invaded and some Russian dude or something like that here's a
no, but I was like, somebody asked me. I think it was my stepson asked me about that the other day, and I was like, I don't I don't condone that at all. I don't think that's a wise idea. He was like, why? And I was like, well, let's think. Military aside, we have the largest army in the world without the military. 400 million guns in America. Okay. How many people are in America? There are more guns than there are Americans. We have the largest silent army of any fucking nation. We are Sparta reincarnate. Okay? Most of us, at least. Some of us, at least. Not all of us.
Yeah.
A lot of us are soy chai latte drinking weirdos and have at it. But some of us are Spartans. And I was like, I didn't say this, but I've heard this before. Americans are bred for war. We were created by war.
Yeah.
We don't want war, but we're well versed in it. You come here and somebody else is going to be raising your children. And then my son goes, well, what about the Geneva Convention? I mean, you mean the Geneva Suggestions at that point? Because you come to America, and I guarantee you the ROE does not exist anymore.
Yeah, the United States make up about 40% of the UN, and at that point, and we contribute more money to the UN than any other country, which is crazy. And
Our nickname is "fuck around and find out."
Yeah.
Like I was talking to my wife about it. The conversation that me and my son had, and I was like, "You can't spell America without war." And she goes, "Those letters aren't even in there." And I was like, "Doesn't matter."
Yeah, we've been around for a couple hundred years, and the only time that we haven't been in war is about like 16 years.
War is our history. Like we're about to start World War III. Like we know war. It sucks. I'm not glorifying war. Don't get me wrong. War sucks. I'm not glorifying it.
Yeah.
However, I strongly suggest against it.
Yeah, we're pretty much like the pops. Don't wait until your daddy gets home type of situation. Because normally, look at World War II, for instance. We didn't get in there until 1941, December 7th, 1941. There on after, we were pretty much the daddies of the situation.
Spanked. Bodied.
We were neutral up until that point.
And same with World War One.
Yeah.
We got dragged into both of those.
Yeah.
We're getting dragged into this one because our current commander in chief is
fucking dickhead.
Silly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else, but he's silly. We'll say he's silly. He's not retarded, but he's silly. He's not retarded, but he's silly. He's retarded. Anyway. I saw a video earlier. It was all right, all you 15-year-old kids come up on stage and it's Biden, and then the dude from How to Catch a Predator pops out of a closet behind him and he's like, "Hey, sit right there," and Biden goes, "Woo!"
Yeah, I saw that.
I sent it to you.
Yeah,
it's woo.
Kids under the age of 15, come on up here.
Hey, why don't you have a seat right over there?
All the kids.
That's one of the messages. I have like a couple of not Scottsdale, not Scottsdale, Scottsdale, not Scottsdale. I'm still getting booty hole pictures sent to me and what my opinions are on something, and it gets overwhelming at sometimes. I do skim through some of the stuff that y'all send me, don't get me wrong.
We actually don't talk on Instagram. Like that's like our main line of communication is Instagram.
Yeah.
But we don't actually talk on Instagram unless A, it's important, or B, it's a meme.
Yeah, or unless
it's more memes than talk.
Or unless it's
butthole
FaceTime.
pictures.
Unless it's FaceTime.
Or butthole pictures.
Yeah. Those how many times I gotta scroll through those dick pics?
If you need to stop sending them to me, I don't want to see them either.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Does that lump look weird?
You can't be sending me that shit when I'm at fucking dinner with my family.
Is that?
I'm at Chili's looking at cock. I'm like, yeah.
Does that lump look weird, sir?
Of course it looks weird. It's not even yours.
And brought to you by Manscaped.
Random people send him dick pics, and he's like, "Hey, check this one out." No, stop it.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets weird, but sometimes
It's always weird.
yeah,
it's always weird.
But
You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't want to share an office with you. I don't want you coming into my office and, hey, does this look weird? It's not. Is it yours? No. Then it's weird.
I'll be coming out of the office, but not in the office.
I mean, keep it in the office, please. Just make sure your couch is Scotch guarded. Just slides right off.
Yeah. But the freedom and the love for our country won't slide off thanks due to our company called...
Not touching that one. Not touching that one. Have you seen the price of ammo's gone up?
That brings up another interesting topic. I forgot.
Oh, the export thing.
Yeah.
Is that like they're not like
they're
making
getting
any
rounds sent to Czech.
No, what that means is that when did this happen last time?
I forgot.
You shouldn't have. Because it was in your lifetime. Probably twice.
I completely forgot.
When the United States gears up for war, they stop exports of anything civilian. There are no civilian arms that are U.S. made that are going to any other countries unless you're law enforcement.
Yeah.
There's no ammunition going out to other countries that is U.S. made if you're not law enforcement or military, which drives the price up for us. If we can't buy ammo, stores have to get rid of it. Who do they get rid of it to? The same companies it came from. They have to rotate it out because it didn't get sold. Well, what do those companies send it to? They send it to the military.
I hate the fact that Russia and Ukraine can't settle out their own shit, and then we're dragging into it. Same thing with what's going on with Palestine and Israel. We're being dragged into shit that we have
Being dragged into World War III.
Yeah.
The Air Force has upped its minimum recruitment age
to 42, same as the Coast Guard too.
I could do the Coast Guard. I
don't know, man. But the one thing that will never go away is what company?
Article 1776. That was a little better.
Thank you. I want to say thank you all so much for watching, listening on Google Podcast, YouTube Music, Spotify, everything. And I want to say thank you all so much for everything. I am Matt. You can find me the socials in the link description below. Same with Scottsdale as well. Scottsdale, do you have a joke for him?
I do. Did you know that dogs can't operate MRI machines?
Why? No, I did not.
Yeah, only cats can. That actually was pretty good. I thought that was lame as shit when I read it. Oh, it's so stupid. I cracked myself up.
Bye, guys.